Hey you guys, it's me, Saber. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a new video for you, and it is going to be a tutorial video. I am going to show you how I create my Sims 4 and Sims 3 thumbnails. This has been requested in the past, but it's been recently brought up again by Girly Simmer 1. Her and I were having a conversation about how to create thumbnails, and I just thought, what the heck, I might as well create a tutorial on how I do mine. Now, the programs you will need to create the thumbnail that I'm going to be creating are Gimp 2.8, which is a free program. You can just find that online for free and download it, and I use PicMonkey.com. So those are the two programs I use. Pretty simple. I'll show you how to use both of them, preferably Gimp mostly for this video because I feel like a lot of people use PicMonkey.com. So let's go ahead and get into the tutorial. First things first, I like to download a font from fontspace.com, and I like to find an image on Google Images, which I've already done right here, and I've saved it to my desktop for easy access. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up Gimp, which I have located right there in my applications. Hey Gimp, how you doing? You look pretty today. Good to see you, friend. All right, so Gimp has now opened. The first thing I'm going to do is go to File, Open, Desktop, and then go to Diamond Wallpaper. That's why I save it to my desktop. It's just easier to find than going through all of my files. Now I'm going to resize the image to fit YouTube scaling, I guess. So it's going to be 1280 by 720 here. And I'm just going to click Scale. All right, perfect. Now I'm going to go over here to Filters, and I'm going to go to Blur and Gaussian Blur, if I pronounce that right. And I'm going to change this to 16, and it changed it to 15. Oh well, we'll leave it. So I'm going to click OK, and this just creates a blurred effect on your image, which I think makes your sim and the text that you create stand out a lot more. That's why I really like it. Now you're going to go over here to your toolbox. You're going to click Text Tool, and this is where you're obviously going to form your text. So I'm just going to title this Gimp, whoopsie, if I can spell, thumbnail tutorial. Perfect. So I am going to highlight this and double click on my text tool and center my text now, just like so. Also, since I have downloaded a text from FontSpace, I'm going to go ahead and in this little box right here, type in the name of my text, which all I have to do is type in K because it's right there. Actually, I want to use something else. I want to use, there's another font that I recently have been using and I actually really like it. It's called Lakesite. I really like this font. And then I'm just going to increase the size of the font. Oh, nope, not what I wanted to do. This here. I'm going to grow that out a little more. I'm going to increase that a little more. And I'm going to change my font to white. I like my font to be white when I'm playing with it. So next you have a few options. You can either leave your font right there, or you can move your font around, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to use this tool right here, which is your Move Layer tool. So I'm going to click on my text layer. And you pretty much can move it wherever you want, but I kind of want it more in the corner here, just like so. And now I kind of want it to be tilted. So the way you're going to tilt that is use this tool right here, which is your Rotate tool. I'm going to click on the image and then just tilt it a little bit, and I'm going to click Rotate. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. Now, as you can see, I have a text on my background, but it is not standing out very well. So what I'm going to do to make this text stand out is I'm going to click this button right here, which is Create a New Layer. And I'm just going to click OK for the default settings. I'm going to click on this layer, and I'm going to use this arrow right here to move it down below my text layer. Now what I'm going to do is click on my text layer, right click, alpha to selection. As you can see, it outlines my text. Then I'm going to click on this blank layer. I'm going to go to select and grow. And I'm going to grow it by, ooh, not that much. I like to grow it by about 10. And as you can see, it outlines that text there. And then I'm going to go to Edit, fill with BG color, which is background color, and you can find that right here, so you can double click on that if you want to change the background color, but I prefer my background color to be white. Now next what I'm going to do is go back to my layers tab, click on my text layer that says Gimp here. I'm going to alpha to selection. I'm going to go to select and feather. I'm going to feather to 5. I feel like that makes the text blend a little better. Actually, I'm going to undo feather selection, and then I'm going to actually feather 2. Just so it has still, actually 3. We'll do 3. Okay, so now that this is still alpha to selection, you can still see the outline of my actual text. I want to add an ombre effect to my text. So I'm going to click on this tool right here, which is the blend tool. And then I'm going to click on my colors here, and I kind of want it to be a purple ombre. So I'm going to actually make this purple right there. Just like that. I'm going to click OK. Now I'm going to double click on my blend tool, and it gives you options on the shape you would like your blend tool to be. I like mine to be square. So I'm going to click out of that. Now you're just going to click anywhere on your image and drag this little arrow here. And ta-da! It kind of creates that nice ombre effect, I guess. And you can just play around with this. I actually like that. Let's do that again. Whoops. Yeah, I like that. So I feel like the white is kind of, there we go. I like that better. So now what I'm going to do, yes, our image is looking fabulous, fantastic. I'm going to go to select and select none. So you see that looks pretty good right now, but I do want to add kind of a shadow behind my text. So I'm going to go over here to layer. I'm going to go to filters, light and shadow, and drop shadow. And then I'm just going to click OK, which creates that shadow behind the text, which makes it really pop off of that background. At this point, I'm done creating the text and the image portion of my thumbnail. So I'm going to go to File, Save for Web, JPEG, and then I'm going to save it as GIMP thumb. And then I'm just going to save it on my desktop for easy access. At this point, you can go ahead and close out of GIMP. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Discard changes because I already have the image on my desktop right here. Now I'm going to go into the program PicMonkey. And I feel like a lot of people use PicMonkey, so there's not much I can tell you to do here. This is just where I insert the picture of my sim. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my GIMP image that I just created. And I'm going to go to this butterfly tab right here, which is overlays. And I'm going to create my own overlay by clicking on this screenshot of a sim that I made in The Sims 4. Then I'm just going to bring out this image a little bit. That way I have an easier time erasing, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and bring my eraser size up, and I'm just going to start erasing around this sim. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm not going to go ahead and do this like perfectly. Usually I would outline the sim completely. That way there would be no background behind her, but I am lazy, and for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to go ahead and leave her the way she is, crappy and looking thug. So I'm just going to increase her size here. And then at this point, I would usually put like maybe the Sims 4 logo right here by using an overlay tool, or I would use like a typical overlay from GIMP, or not GIMP, from PicMonkey itself. I'm just going to add some roses in here by doing this and clicking duplicate overlay, and I'll just do that a few times. Alright you guys, so that is my tutorial on how I create a Sims 3 or 4 thumbnail using GIMP and PicMonkey. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more videos like it, leave me a comment down below and request a video. If you have yet to subscribe, feel free to do so. Also, don't forget to check out my social media. It is also linked down below. Whew, done self-promoting. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye!